When we gaze at the countless stars twinkling in the night sky, a question inevitably crosses our minds. Are we alone in this vast universe? Among these millions of stars and planets, is there not a single one that harbors life like Earth? Even if we assume for a moment that Earth is the only place where life exists in this universe, our human minds struggle to accept this notion. And then we wonder, if life is indeed unique to Earth, what purpose do these millions of shining stars serve? Welcome back, dear viewers. These are the questions that we humans have been tirelessly seeking answers to, investing billions of dollars in our quest for knowledge. Is there life on other planets in space? If life does exist elsewhere, what do these aliens look like and how do they live? To find answers to these questions, NASA first decided to go to the moon, as it was the celestial body closest to Earth. In 1968, for the first time, a spacecraft was sent towards the moon, which orbits Earth at a distance of 384,000 kilometers. This spacecraft was named Apollo 8, and its mission was to orbit the moon and return safely to Earth. Apollo 8 also had 3 astronauts on board who took 68 hours to reach the moon. While orbiting the moon, they didn't see anything strange, but these 3 astronauts were the first humans to witness an Earthrise. Just as we see sunsets and sunrises, they saw the Earth rising, and this breathtaking scene was photographed for the first time from Apollo 8. The very next year, in July 1969, NASA's spacecraft Apollo 11 landed on the moon for the first time, and Commander Neil Armstrong became the first person to set foot on the lunar surface. Aldrin and Neil Armstrong spent 2 hours and 15 minutes walking on the moon, collecting soil samples before heading back to Earth. NASA explains that since there's no air or oxygen on the moon, the astronauts' footprints are still visible there today. During NASA's moon missions, no aliens were spotted, but the satellites orbiting the moon continuously send us photos, and quite a lot has been observed in these images. Alien researcher Scott C. Waring believes that NASA's published photos of the moon show several spots where underground aliens might exist. In NASA's photos, he pointed out a spot on the moon with a strange building-like structure. Scott thinks this object is completely different from anything else on the moon and doesn't look normal at all. What happened after Scott published his research was hard to believe. Just a few days later, when NASA updated their moon photos, that building-like structure had vanished. Scott wonders, if there's no activity on the moon, how did this building-like object disappear? Either NASA edited out that spot to hide it, or there's actually some kind of alien activity happening on the moon. And it's not just about structures seen in a few photos. Scientists have discovered a massive area on the dark side of the moon, the side we can't see from Earth, that's significantly different from the rest of the lunar surface. At first glance, this area just looked different, but after investigation, the findings were even more astonishing. Scientists believe this part of the moon is about 4,300 square kilometers in size and isn't made of the same soil Neil Armstrong brought back. Instead, it's composed of metal. Some scientists think this metal might be from a massive asteroid that collided with the moon about 400 billion years ago. However, many researchers disagree with this theory, arguing that such a large impact would have split the moon in two. These skeptics suggest that this metallic part of the moon could potentially be evidence of an underground alien civilization. Moving away from the moon, if we talk about Mars, we've already sent 21 robots to explore the Red Planet. Mars, also known as the Red Planet, is about 400 million kilometers away from Earth. However, every 2 years during its orbit around the Sun, there's a day when Mars comes significantly closer to Earth, reducing the distance to just 62 million kilometers. Even this shorter distance is still quite vast. All the robots sent from Earth to Mars so far have taken a full 7 months to reach their destination. Out of the 21 robots sent to Mars, 17 unfortunately crashed during landing, while only 4 have successfully landed and are still on their missions. These robots have sent back numerous images of Mars revealing many strange objects. Alien researcher Scott C. Waring claims that we've received information from Mars suggesting that life might exist there. He states that he's observed small pyramids in photos from Mars similar to the mysterious structures on Earth that have puzzled us for centuries. These small-scale pyramids spotted on Mars have added to the intrigue surrounding the red planet. In a photo taken by the Curiosity rover on Mars, you can see lots of rocks, but one stands out from the rest. It's shaped exactly like a pyramid. It looks like someone deliberately made this small pyramid here. But who could it have been? Scott believes that there are tiny aliens on Mars who have built these small pyramids. The Curiosity rover, which cost NASA $2.5 billion to build, has sent back thousands of photos since landing on Mars. Most photos just show rocks and mountains, but there are a few images that have sparked a lot of debate online. These photos have something unusual about them that's caught people's attention. One of the most famous photos was taken by Viking 1 in 1976, showing what looks like a huge face on Mars. It could be a coincidence, or maybe just like ancient Egyptians built massive statues, aliens might have created this memorable monument on Mars. NASA claims it's just a large mountain on Mars that appears face-like due to the way light and shadows fall on it. In 2014, another picture from the Curiosity rover stirred up excitement when it seemed to show a bone lying on Mars. Looking at this bone, you might think it's the ancient remains of a small alien that has decayed over time. NASA says it's not a bone at all, but actually a rock that's been shaped by strong winds to look like a bone. Let's go ahead and assume it's not really a bone. But in 2016, a photo from Mars revealed an entire skull, sparking a new debate online. Alien researchers are convinced something's amiss on Mars. They believe aliens once inhabited the planet, a theory supported by NASA's research confirming past life on Mars. Just as the alien skull controversy was brewing, another Mars Curiosity rover photo caused a stir. This image showed a rock formation eerily resembling Earth's fish, complete with a fish-like shape from top to bottom. The question remains, what's a fish-like rock doing millions of kilometers away on Mars? Information gathered by rovers on Mars has proven that 3 billion years ago, Mars was lush and green like Earth. There's evidence of large oceans existing back then, and it's believed these oceans might still be frozen beneath the Martian surface. Further research is ongoing. In 2014, the Mars rover captured a nighttime photo that has sparked speculation about the possibility of alien life on Mars. The image shows light emanating from inside a rock formation. After the photo was published, alien researchers claimed it was compelling evidence of extraterrestrial activity on the red planet. We humans say Mars is a barren planet, but the real truth might be much harder for us to grasp. Several photos captured on Mars have shown what appear to be statues. In a photo from 2018, a stone statue's face was clearly visible, while a 2015 photo showed what looked like a female statue on a distant mountain. Alien researcher Scott Waring has stated on his YouTube channel that the more research is done on Mars photos, the more evidence they're finding. Scott believes that the aliens on Mars are far more advanced than us, because in one photo he claims to have seen an engine lying on the surface of Mars, which due to layers of dust settling on top appears to have the same color as the surrounding rocks. Whether this is actually an engine, a piece of an alien UFO, or simply another rock is up for debate. We hope you'll like and share. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you in the next exciting video.